Hi everyone, it's just Mags again. I've decided I'm going to use my phone today, and what I'm planning on doing today is I'm going to attempt to make a clown. So I'm starting with white for the face, and this is the Aldi's double knit yarn that's in at the moment. Only $1.29 a ball for 100 grams, which is a bargain. And so I'm starting with the white. I am going to knit, so I'm doing 19 rows just for the face of the clown. And once I've done the 19 rows, I shall come back and I will show you, oops, it's gathering up. I will show you the body of the clown, the wool that I'm going to use for that, because I want it to be colourful. So I've got a choice of two pinky coloured, multicoloured wools that I want to use. It just depends which one will work well in the machine and won't be annoying. So once I've done the 19, I'll come back. What I've done is I've done 20 rows. I decided to do an even number, and I am now going to cut the tail off. I'm going to change the angle of my camera just so you can see what I'm doing. Right, that's better. You should be able to see what I'm doing now. So I cut the tail off, and you just put that behind, making sure you've got it tucked under the last stitch before the white one. Then you take your new yarn and you tuck it the same place as your old yarn. Keep hold of it, pop it into your tension gauge, then just knit the way you would normally knit. And what should happen, if you've done it right, is that your new yarn just carries on. So now what I need to do is I need to knit another 55 rows, and that will be the head and body of the clown. And there we are. What I like to do is I like to catch that in to my weight so that everything's in the same place, and then just carry on knitting. And everything should knit just nicely. It's quite a nice little double knit wool. It's 94. It's got a bit of a knot in it, so that's why it's stopped. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'll just carry on through, and that will knit that in nicely. Sometimes you find the yarn you buy, it does have little sections in that have been joined, so you have to be aware of that. I bought it from Temu, so it's to be expected. Just making sure I haven't dropped any stitches anywhere, which I haven't. Jolly good. Right, so I'll just carry on knitting this for another 55 rows. Once it gets near to the table, I will come back and show you the donut that I create to keep the tension right. Right, so I've got to 61 rows. I'm going to take the pegs off. The pegs are my weights, if I didn't say that before. I put them on, everything's covered in brown fur from yesterday. So I take the weights off, fold this up like a donut, and that helps to keep the tension so you don't start getting loose stitches at the top of your work around this end. Right, so I shall carry on and I shall come back when there's 55 stitches. Won't be long. So that's the 75th row done, and I am now going to cast off. And you do the drawstring cast off. Cut that off. Thread it. Whoops. Make sure your last pin has knitted, which is the one before the white pin. Then you start to cast off from the white pin. Stay close to the stitch as possible so as not to pull any stitches off that you don't want to pull off. And the next one, keep doing this all the way along. As I've said before, the more proficient you get at doing this, the more stitches you will eventually be able to take off all in one go. So you can like do quite a few. Take that one off. Take that one off. Take that one off. Oh, it's not quite ready. And then pull them through. So it's up to you how quick you get at doing that and how comfortable you are with taking multiple stitches off at once. I tend to be a clumsy person, so I have a tendency to take it slow just because that's me, clumsy Anna, and I don't want to lose any stitches. My cat's jumping around like a maniac. What's the matter, Mr. Bob? What are you jumping around for? He's been out all day as usual. And I've brought him in because it's getting late. That one. Pull it through. And you just keep doing that all the way along until you get to the last one, and then everything comes off of the machine. Right, so when it comes off the machine, you just pull it all off. I've dropped a couple of stitches there when taking it off, so I've just yarned them over with a crochet hook. You just put the crochet hook in, hook it through, hook it through, hook it through. Now when I do the drawstring, like this, tidy everything up. Pull it all through. Like we did with the bear and the hat. Pull it through, it's nice and tidy and tight. So what I'm going to do is when I gather it all together, to tighten it up, like so. I'm just going to catch them with the needle. And do a little loop. Just to keep it in place. So that gathers all of that up. This is going to be the inside of the work, so it doesn't matter that I'm going to have that little tail. It just makes sure, I'm just making sure that it's not going to come out. Right, so that's the inside. Right, and I shall loop it through. Loop it through again. Pop it through the middle, like we did with the other bear. Make sure it's through the middle bit. There you go. And what I also want to do is I want to secure this as well. Oops. So that I shall work through the wool, pull it out, and then this, before I do anything else though, I need to do is stretch it all. I haven't done the stretch yet. Take my machine off. Do the stretch. There's still lots of little brown bits from the scarf and hat that I made. Grab hold of that, pull it through to this end. And what I did with the cast on, where I changed, not cast on, what I did when I changed the wool is I tied them together, keep them together, and they're not going to go anywhere. And what I will do is I will put them inside the work like so. Give some extra layer of protection. And then cut it off. And that's them secured together. There we are. Now this has come through. As you can see, the head and the body are going to be roughly even size. But I need to get the end of the cast on under our string. Make it nice and neat. Like so. Get the other end, tie them together. Put them on your needle. Don't need them that long. Put them on your needle. Secure them. A couple of little loops. One. And then work it in to the inside of the work. There we go. Right, so that's the head and the body. And you obviously put fibre fill in. Pink wants to just stand out. I mean, I'll be putting a hat on it, but even so, I want to cut it to that bit so it's not so obvious. Right, so that's the body. That's the head. I'm obviously going to embellish the head with some ears, a little hat, some big feet and big arms to make the clown. So that's as far as I've got at the moment, and I shall come back and we'll start on doing all the accessories, like the feet, the arms, the ears, the hat, and I'll be doing that on the Sentro 22. So I'll be back. Right, so what I've done is I've created the oval shaped, and then I'm going to put a secure eye in there to give it a more defined look. I've done some oversized eyebrows, which I'll show you how I did them. I went at 1.5 or really 1 over. So we'll do 1 over here on this side, and I went in and up a bit, then back in where I came on the original, and up a bit to create the first part of the eyebrow. It's a bit long, but then in as close as you can to the original and across. I went one across like so, and then back over into there, and back out. And so that's the shape of the eyebrow. Then I went in and out there. So that gives that a thicker look. And then, then over into there and back out the original spot. There. Oops, it's falling off the table. And I just kept going in and out until it was fatter. So back into that way, then out to that way. Over again. And then I did a long one to try and join them. They're nice and fat. And then I did a long one. Oh, that's getting on my nerves, that little bit. It's a bit too long. Across to there. To join them together. Oh, great, and I've just pulled that out. And another one over this way, so that basically you're trying to make them as prominent as possible. Okay, and then I tied them together to make them secure. Worked it into there. Cut that off. Cut that off. Unless I need to work out where this has come out. That's better. I'm probably going to need to put another little stitch across it, just to tie it off a bit more. So I'll put that there and then across there. And put this one back in there and back out. That in. And I should point out, this is not supposed to be a cute clown by any means. It's supposed to be a striking clown for Halloween. Oops. Don't want that falling out. There we go. Right, so that's the start of the eyes. I'm just going to get what's that? It's just stretched. So, right, so I'm just going to get the eyes that I want to use to put in. Okay, I've found the perfect eyes, red ones. So I'm going to put them at the bottom of the big eye bit. Exaggerated eyes. That's one. Oops. Two. Okay. And obviously what I need to do is I need to put string through here. That looks long enough. Right, so what you do is you get the same colour. And you start putting this through the bowl like so, all the way along till you get back to the end. And this is going to draw that in for the bottom of the body. Yes, the boy's back. Now I'll show you this technique that Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks has been showing, that what you can do as well to make this look a bit neater is you can go over and then into the stitch that's inverted. Let's make sure I'm doing it the right way. Yes, I am. And then you pull it through. And what she calls it is going into the valley. Oops. Out and over the hill. Into the valley. Over the hill. Into the valley. over the hill. If you can see, you're going in where it's hasn't been picked up at the front. And you're going over the next lot of stitches. Into the valley. Over the hill, into the valley, over the hill, into the valley, over that hill, and then you meet up with the other side. I did exactly the same for that side, from there, from where I cinched it in, and then all you do is you tie a knot. Oops. Cinch it in, tie another knot, double knot, in once more, and then oops, I'll show you why it makes a difference. Oops, that's one in. We'll put that one in first then. Put that in through your work. Tie it off. This one as well. Through your work. Tie it off, and then that makes it look much neater round the neck, if you can see. Right, and all I did for here is as I was showing you, I put the stitch in, pulled it, tied it off, and I think I'll do the same with this and work it in. Both of them this time, so I don't have to go too far, and then I'll just work it in, pull it through, tie that off. Right, and then what I have to do is I have to make a little nose to go there, embroider a mouth to go across. I'm thinking of putting some little pink cheeks embroidered on, but I'm not sure. I'll see how it looks once it has the ears on, because the nose and the mouth might be sufficient with the ears. Alright, so once I've done that, I shall come back. Hello again. It's the next day and I've decided to get some red yarn. This is just Wendy's double knit, which I bought from a local shop called Balls. And so I'm going to try the mouth again and do it in red. So I'm going to attempt to do it as a double strand to see if that makes it thicker. So I'm starting from one end and I'm going to cross fairly high up like so. Let's have a check, see if that's the middle. A little one further up. Like so. So I'm going in. I've got a little knot in the end. And then I'm going back in again. That is. In the same place. And this time I'm going down to roughly the same location, same line. Then back in again. Out back at the top. So I can make a mouth shape, and then I want to cross it over. Try and get it on the same line. Into there, out to there. Back into here. Out to there. Okay, it's the start of the mouth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting it back into where it first went in, then out through this side. Oops. There. And then I'm going to build it up so it starts to go across. And start to fill in the bottom half. So in there, out there, and across. What you do is you just keep going in and out, building it up, shaping it till it looks complete. Back in there, back out there. Just keep going until you feel that the shaping is right. What's the matter? Mr. Bob's having a go because I've been out and I've just come in and he's not happy. I've had the cheek to go out somewhere. Build it up through there. Back across through there. As I say, you keep going until you feel that it's a full mouth and you're happy with it. Going across to fill it in. Out through there. And it will eventually look completely full. Once you're happy with the shape, that bit obviously didn't want to behave, so that bit's going to get tied down. Like so. Just tie it in. Oops, hello. Were you fed up with me not taking any notice of you? What are you doing, Mum? What are you messing about with now? I'm going to go down that bit again. And back out there. People can't see, man, because all I can see is a pussycat. A pussycat that wants to be scratched. Yes. You've been rolling in the grass again, I see. He's perfectly happy as long as I'm stroking him, scratching his back. So, I'm going to cut the ends off. Oh. So the very thing I wanted is on the floor. My loom pick. Right, use your loom pick to tidy it up a bit if you're happy with it. That's sticking up, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up there and down there. And fill that in a bit more so it doesn't look so much like it's sticking up unnaturally. And in there. Oops, back in there. And out. So it looks a bit more rounded. There we are, I'm quite happy with that mouth. A bit more pointed on that side, but just pull this out a bit to make this look a bit more pointed. There we are. And once you're happy with the shape, then you just simply put it through there and tie it off. Right, for the nose, this is where I make a tiny pom-pom. So that's the mouth of the clown, big red mouth. Oh, what have I done with me? Oh, it always goes right under the chair. I also got this lovely sparkly, don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's lovely and sparkly. It's got multicolours in it. This I'm going to be using to make the witch. It's going to be the witch's costume, and I've got a nice sage green, which I'll show you. So them together should be nice for the witch with red eyes. Okay, for the nose, I'm going to do a 2-finger pom-pom. So wrap it round until you think it's big enough. Helps if I actually count. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. That's where I'm going to stop. 50. Then you put it in between your fingers, like so. If you can open your fingers enough. Pull it through, like so. Oops, that's not the right one. That's the cast off. So release it a bit so I can get them through my fingers. Right. Keep getting hold of the cast on one. Let's put that one through first then. That one is through. Then you bring it forward, keeping it in the ball shape. Tie it off. Like so. Take it off your fingers, tie it tight around. Try and keep it as round shaped as you can. There we go. Like so. And again, 3 times tie it, make sure it's secure. Then you go into the middle bits on either side, snip it, snip it, snip it all the way along. On this side, snip it, snip it, snip it, snip it. There we go. And now you shape it. So you want it shaped like a nose, like a ball. So you just keep taking bits off going around and around. Like so. Shake it off so all the longer bits come to the front. Just keep going till it looks quite fluffy, which is getting there now. There we go. I think that looks nice. Round shape for a nose. So he has a big mouth and a big red nose. So snip that off. You can snip that end off. That's just a loose bit. There we go. Then you take your darning needle or wool needle or yarn needle or whatever you like to call it. Aim it for the middle, which I believe is there, roughly. Pull it in. Put it through the nose itself and back out through the other side, just to make it secure. Pull it, oops, pull it through. Pull it all the way through, right to the other end. Oops, and now you've got bits of red all over. So I should use for his, to get the redness for his cheeks really, shouldn't I? Use the tiny bits of red from that to rub into the cheeks. Oh, I've done the same on the other side. Actually, I've already got red cheeks there now, haven't I? So we'll do that. Giving red cheeks from the wool. On that side a bit more. There we go. And that's why you clean up after yourself. So he's got red cheeks now. I'll put something more rougey on his cheeks. And what I would do with this is I would hide it in the work again. Going right into the stuffing. And just for safe measure, I'm going to do it again, because we don't want little I'm not going to do it like that. What I will do is I'll put a knot in it just to be sure, and then it will go down into the wool. There we go, that knot's gone into it inside, and then I'll cut it off. And I've probably got red all over again. Yes, he looks like a sad clown, which clowns tend to look sad. So that's that clown's specific makeup. If you know anything about clowns, you know that they have a registration of their own individual makeup. So this is this clown's makeup. Right, I need to do the arms, the legs, the ears, the hat, and once I've done those, I shall come back. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attempt to make the hat. I'm using black for the hat, so I'm using the 22 needle Sentro. I am going to do 2 lots of 20 rows, and that hopefully should be sufficient to do the hat. I'm going to use what's left of a toilet roll holder. I'll not be using all of it, just half of it for the brim. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So I'm just casting on, drawstring cast on, and you do it exactly the same as the bigger machine. You just keep going over one, under one, over one, under one, till you get back to the black needle, and you cast your first row on. Hopefully it'll go on nicely with this black. Let's get some loose. Right, so I'm back to the first one, so I'm going to do 20 rows of 2 times 20 rows, because one for the brim and one for the main part of the hat. Right. I shall come back once I've got the 20 rows done and show you what I'm going to do. Right, so I've got 20 rows. I'm going to show you how to cast off, just in case this is your first video. So you knit 20 rows, then you cut a length off of your yarn. You put it behind the last stitch before the black needle, or the last needle before the black needle. You put it behind and let that one stitch, and then you start to pick it up, and keeping it close to the end so you don't lose any of the stitches. You just keep taking it off like so, going as slow as you want to or as fast as you want to if you get used to doing this, but making sure not to pull any stitches off that don't need to come off. Just like so. Just keep going all the way along, like so, until you get back to your first stitch. Keep taking, oh, oops, missed that one. Got hold of it. Make sure you've got the last stitch. There we go. Pull it through. This one. Pull it through. Be very careful because they easily come off if you go too far. If it hasn't gone down, it hasn't come off yet. So be aware that if the stitch has gone right down, it's ready to come off. Keep going. like so. As I say, as fast or as quick as you want to go. If you're new to it, take your time, because it does get, at first you like drop stitches here, there and everywhere, but once you get used to doing it and you know what you're looking at and what tension to use when turning it, you do get used to it and you get quicker. There we go. And so the very last needle that comes off is the white one before your black cast on one. So that's 20 stitches, and this is going to be the rim of the hat, or the brim. The top, which is what I should have said earlier, with this is what's going to make it stand up. So I'm going to do another one like this, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to be doing. So I shall return. Right, so I've got a pussycat on my lap, well, on my table. So I've done the 20 rows for this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down, because I don't want the whole thing. I don't want it to be that tall, the hat. To about there, I think. And then I will cut it round like so. Try and make sure I get it even as much as I can across. Like so. And then I'm going to put it inside the wool. As I say, this is the top of the hat. And I'm going to cinch it around and in. I'm going to close it first though. I will close it first. Oh, that's the bottom bit. Let's close the top bit first. And then I can pull it in. Obviously the bottom bit goes onto the brim of the hat. And I'm not sure whether I want to put some cardboard in the brim or whether or not it will look fine without. We'll get to that in a minute when we do that. So I'm just, I'll take that out for a moment. Just going to make this as neat as possible. You're obviously going to be bringing both ends up and inside the cardboard. So that's that side done. Go in the middle. It's hard to see with black wool which is the middle. Go in the middle. And as tidy as possibly, because you're going to be able to see the top of the hat. Push it in. Centre it like so. I probably could have got away with doing just 15 rows really, couldn't I, for the hat, but not to worry. Cinch that one in, tie them together. and then push that bit up. Right, so you've got the top of your hat. That looks okay. Make sure that's centered so it looks nice on the top. Right, so that's the top. We'll leave all that on because we need to attach it to the brim. Now the brim, do your normal cinching in, both sides. Once I've done these, I'll show you how I did the legs and arms and ears. I've already done one leg, one arm and one ear. So that's your arm attached to there. The leg, which sticks out, big fat leg, big fat boot, and the ear. Big fat ears clowns have. Right, and obviously I'm going to be trying to make some kind of a axe, if I can, with a straw, some wool. I've got my straw ready here. I want to try and make an axe and put some silver thread around the black to make it look like it's a sharp edge. But we'll see if that works out or not. I would like to, because obviously it's a scary clown. It's not a nice clown. It might be scary for more reasons than one. Right, that's that one. One more time I'll just loop it like so, and then put it through the middle. Whoops. I'll also have to show you how I did the flower. I did the flower in the same sort of way I'm going to do this, except I folded it and then put thread in between each one to make the petals, and then put some green in the middle for the middle of the flower. Dead easy. Right, put that through there. Get this one, cinch this one in. Try and make it nice and neat. Fold it right in. Tie them together. God, I always end up with like 6 tons of yarn. Right, take that off. Tie them together. Like so. Right. Get one. Use it to close the end around. Which you want it nice and round like the other side. Like so. It's really hard to see in black. But I wanted a black hat for him. And I'm thinking about putting a flower on top of his hat. But I'll have to decide. That was the flower was only 10 rows, as I say. And I made it so that I made it so I put the strands of yarn in between to make the petal-like look. Right. So then what I want to do, I want to put them together like so. And what I think I'll do to reinforce it, I think I'll put a stitch all the way around to reinforce it, but initially I'm going to put these two together. I wasn't sure until I started doing this how it would look, how it would turn out. So I'm learning as you're learning, because I haven't done this before. But I can usually think outside the box and imagine how I'm going to do something. It usually works out okay, and when it doesn't, then it doesn't. Keep putting that in the middle, make it nice and secure. Tie it off again to be sure. Ensure it's secure. Right. There we go. Hide it within my work, like so. Cut it off. Hide that bit in your work, just to keep it secure, like so. There you go. Don't cut your wool, just cut the end of the yarn. Right, so what I need to do now, I think I'll put just a stitch around just to keep it in shape. Let me black wool. That's not me black wool, that's me, the rim of my hat, so it's going to be a hat like that. Now I put the black, it's on the floor of course where I've been using it. Right. I just want it to stay in the round shape. So we'll see what happens with this. Just close to the end, just in and out, all the way around, just to give it a bit stability, hopefully. Obviously, once I put the top on, it'll give it a bit of stability there. I'm just doing a basic stitch in and out of the wool. There we go. Back to the beginning. Okay. Tie that. Not too tight. I don't want it cinching in. Right, and then I'm going to put this on top. Don't need both. Put one down. Right, so it's already in the centre, but I want to stitch around the hat and around that to keep it in the centre of the brim. So that way fairly flat, so I can see it's definitely in the centre. And then I'm going to stitch around like so to keep it in place. Whoops, it's gone inside the cardboard. Just make sure that you catch it. Just keep going around. Oops, a bit too far. Around. Like so. I shall come back when I've done it all because it's boring just watching me do this. Right, so that's the hat done. I'm now going to sew it on. I've got all these bits. That was the bit from sewing the rim on. So I'll take that off. I don't need two of them. I don't think anyway. I'm pretty sure I don't. Actually, I'm going to take these off. I'm going to work them into it to keep them secure. Oops. I realise that this clown's kind of like the old-fashioned sort of drunken-looking clown with a floppy hat. Most clowns probably were drunk when they were performing, to be perfectly honest. I can't imagine it to be a very easy job to do. Right, so that's that worked into the wool. Take that off now. Right, have that nice and rounded. Right, and I need a nice long bit of black, and I'm going to sew the hat on to the top of the head, and then I shall show you how I did the arms, legs, ears and flower, because I'm thinking I'll have a smaller flower on top of the head. I'll only do 5 rows rather than 10. Right, so let's pop this on. There he is. Sew it in, and probably going to have to go quite far in. Right. Do what I normally do. When I first start, I like to knot it there to ensure there's nothing comes loose. It stays where I want it to be. Right. Ooh. Is that where I want the hat? There, yes. Right where the eyebrow is. So just keep going round and work it under to hide the stitches all the way. Hopefully I'm not going to bend the hat out of shape. Obviously this isn't made for a kid. This is made to display. I'm not making a soft plushy toy. I'm assuming that people who celebrate Halloween will put it out as a display thing. Not give it to a child. I'm doing big stitches to try and keep the hat looking like a hat. Hopefully. That's my idea anyway. Whether it works or not is another matter. I don't want it to be too pressed down. I'm probably totally out of shot. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting big stitches and I'm stitching it onto the head. Let's move that so I can show you what the hell I'm doing. Right. I'm just doing fairly big stitches. Just so that it's... that one's a bit... I don't like that. That's a bit too visible. Don't want that to be seen. If you're not happy, take things out. Don't think you've ruined it. Right. And keep it well under the black rather than the white. In order to hide your stitches. You don't need lots of little stitches. Oops. That's that one. Probably didn't need such a long strand either. Don't know what that's doing. Keep going. The way around. For some reason he's got a very unfulfilled back. Must have pulled them too tight. Right. If you did decide to put card on it, probably would stay stiffer. Well, I think what I'd like to do, if I can, I'd like to put a stitch through there, all the way down, to try and keep it down. We're back at the beginning. Tie that off. Right, so that's his hat. I'm going to put that through there and out. Cut that off. Cut that off. Oops. put a stitch through the top and out. I'm going to secure the stitch. I just want the brim of the hat to be a bit closer to the top, like so. Right in the middle. Pull it out. That's better. Secure it off at the back. Let's do a couple of loops. 1, 2. Oh, excuse me. I've just had my breakfast. Put it through the work and cut it off. What I've done is I have made a little axe type hammer thing. All I did was I put some wool yarn through the middle of the straw, tied it together, and then I kept winding round and round and round till I filled up the whole of the straw. Then I did 10 rows, and what I did then is I cinched each end together, put them together like a circle, folded them once, sewed them up, folded them again, sewed it up, and that left me with that. And then I put white and some red for blood on the end of the sword. So that's the sword that I've made. I mean, it's okay, it's not what I would like to have, not as good as I'd like it to have been, but hey ho, that's how I've made it. I'm going to put that on there, then sew it in like that at the end probably, and I've done a little scar by just putting a stitch in, going in, coming out, going back in again, going into this one, coming over, then going into that one, going back in again, then going back into there and back over, and again until the stitches were on, and that's the scar. Alright, so I'm going to now, I'll just sew this to the end of there, and I am going to do the arms, ears and leg for you, show you how that works. Just get rid of some of this scrap wool, make sure I've got nothing I'm supposed to have. Oops, that's how I showed you how to do that. I couldn't use the silver thread because it wasn't actually thread, it was wire, and it was too stiff to use on the end of here. If I find the silver, I will put silver in instead of white, but I'll have to look and see if I can find the silver. I can find gold, but not silver. I think I need to stitch that in a bit more because it's sticky outy for some reason. Right, the arm. Let's do that. Okay, so the wool for the arm is the same as the body. Just wanted a little bit because I wanted long gloves on. So I used black, which is here. I think it's hiding under my chair. Where's the black one? Oh dear. It's amazing I turn around and the wool's gone. Where's my black wool gone? Am I just looking at it or am I sitting on it? It is under my chair. I thought it was because I've just been using it. Oops, just kick everything about, Margaret. Right, so the first thing I did is 15 rows of black, or 16 for the arms. I did 16 rows of black for the arms, starting with the black key needle, and you loop it round the first one and the next one, the next one, and what I did 15 of black, sorry 16, I did 16 of black and then made it up to 30 with the rest of the yarn. So I'll start with the black, do 16, and when I've made it up completely to 30 I shall come back. I've done 16 rows of black. Now I'm going to join the other colour, and all you do is you cut the black off, make sure it goes round the last needle before the black needle. So it has to go round that needle. Then you put the same needle, same place, you put your new yarn. Close it up, keep hold of them both, just to ensure they all knit together. And since I've done 16, I need to keep going till it reaches 30. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing now. I've got cat hair on there. Right, so what I have done is I have done for the foot, leg, 15 black and the rest in the colour until it measures 40 rows. The arm, 16 black and the colour till it measures 30 rows. For the ear, 15 rows in white. So I'll show you what I did with the ear first. So I knitted it together, made it nice and straight round there, keeping it all together, making sure it's all cinched. Put a loop in, and another one, leave that there. Do the same on the other side, stretching out your wool, making sure, because obviously your wool needs to be stretched once you've taken it off the machine. I'm doing because I moved everything around. It looks like the table's crooked, but it's not, it's the phone stand that's crooked. Right, so I shall secure this to this end. Just one loop I think's enough to that end. Bring it in tight. Put that through the other end and out. Okay, and you're securing both of them together. In the middle. Oops. Tie them so that they're both in exactly the same place in the middle. Cut that one off, don't need that. Then you want turn it like so, so it's a bit like a half shell, and you're already getting the shape of the ear, because this is the lobe at the top, this is at the bottom. Secure it on both ends, like so. Oops. Just knitting it through. Just a basic stitch to the end. Loop it. Pull the excess out before you do your loop, otherwise you're not going to be able to loop it down very far. Pull it through, back to the middle, and then you secure the other end, doing the same thing. Secure that with a loop, loop-de-loop, working it all the way down with your thumb, like so. Right, and so it goes on like this. Obviously I'm trying to measure it so it goes on the right way, in the right place, because obviously the hat's to one side. So then you work it down and to the head, keep going in and out. Working it close to the head, trying to keep it in the same place. Make sure you're knitting in to the ear. Oops. Into the head. Just about going to have enough yarn, just right at the end, then loop it, pull it tight, Loop it again. Pull it tight. Then hide it within your work. Okay. No, that doesn't look good. Need to hide it better than that. It's better. Cut that off. Ooh, right. Now to make the lobe. Bottom lobe, top lobe. You just need a bit of wool. I'm just going to see if I can count how many rows up I did the other one. And count the rows up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you put it in and over. Into there. Pull it tight. Oops. Pulled it out. Have I? Oh no, I haven't pulled it out. Pull it tight. So I'll have to come back down this way and then stitch them together to pull it like a drawstring. Do that one first. Let's see, they roughly look the same. Yep, thereabouts. I think that one might have been a bit tighter. Might have done more than one. So I'll do that here. I'll do another one just to cinch it a bit more. Oops. That's it. The cat's signalling to me that she wants some treats, so I'm going to stop the camera now. Right, she managed to get her own treats. I just realised I haven't put my power cable in for my phone, so it's going to run out soon if I don't put some power in. And there we go. Right, so that's the lobe done. Just going to work. Why is it everything falls on the floor? I'll work this into the wool. Can you not get your treats out, Molly? Hang on a minute, sweetie. I have mummy duties. Have I got mummy duties? Oh dear, I'm standing all over me wool, man. Watch yourself till I get your treats. That's a good girl. Right, treats for the baby. There you go. Girl knows what she wants and she gets what she wants. Right, so I've just finished the ear. I cinched it in there with the yarn, and all I did was put a little bit of yarn through there, and that created the little dip for the ear. I've sewn the axe on, and I've put some red to make it look like dripping blood. Hopefully it looks a bit like dripping blood. And now I'll show you what I'm going to do with the arms and legs. I did the arm first. I'm doing the same thing that I did when I made the teddy bear. I'm not putting any kind of fibre fill, stuffing, whatever you want to call it, in. I'm just cinching these together. You know how they come off the machine. Tuck that in. This is the 30 rows, 16 black and the other 24 in red, or multicoloured I should say, not red. I was going to put hair on him, but I don't think I will. I think there's plenty on him now. Right, so let's just loop that off. So on. Loop that off. Two. Bring it forward. Put your needle in the middle. Bring it through to the other end. This is where I joined the black and the multicolour. Right, that's it there. This is where I joined them on the machine. I just tie them off 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Cut that because it's going to be inside the work already. Oops, stabbed myself at the same time. And you're pulling this through. I know you're not going to be seeing much of this colour on the arms, just a little bit where it joins. So if you prefer to just do black, or if you prefer to do the ordinary colour, it's up to you if you want to do it that way. I've cinched it in. I'm going to tie it so that they're both together. There we go, like so. Use this one just to tidy it up. Just go around. And around. Not sure what these loose bits are. Oh, they're just bits that have come off from the table. I've just realised I've turned the light off because I needed to recharge my phone. Yeah, that's better. You might actually be able to see what the heck I'm doing now. Tie that off again. Right. Loop this one twice. Get it right down in there, tight. One. Put it right down with your thumb. There. And cut them off. You can hide it in. Take that one off. Pull it forward. So you've got some of that showing on the end. And then what I did is I folded it over. This is why you don't need the extra fibre fill, because you're folding it over. I think that's enough black. And then you sew it up. Matching them up. So you've got some of the pink showing. As I say, I wanted it to look like he had long black gloves on. So that's why I haven't got a lot of the body colour showing. Right, and you knit it up. Oops. Like you did before. Just keep knitting it up. Making sure you catch both sides. Like so. I'm keeping an eye because I've had to delete some videos because it kept saying I had run out of memory. I think I need to invest in a new camera. Or invest in a stronger battery. Because my camera just keeps running out of battery. And so it takes so long to film. My phone, which I'm using at the moment, doesn't run out of battery so much, although it did run out today because I forgot to plug it in. But I think I need either a better battery or a better camera. Because I'm going to be making, as well as this, I'm going to be making a witch, a ghost, and a devil. Right, so that's that done. I'll work it through to secure it, like so. Cut that off. Cut that bit off. Don't need that. And then you change to the colour of your body. I'm just using the bits that I've already got. You make sure that the sewn up end, that end, is facing down. You put this as close to the head as possible so that all of them, make sure it looks like it's the right place. And just check. as always, I tie it off when I'm starting. I just want the security of tying it off. And then you just go in and out, all the way around till you get back to there. Then you double loop it, and if you've got enough wool left, work it through the body and then cast it off, or cut it off I should say. Alright, so I'll come back when I've done that. Right, so that's the arm on. So now I'm going to show you what I did with the leg. With the leg I did exactly the same, where I tied it off. The difference is I put fibre fill in the leg because I wanted it fatter. Because I wanted fatter floppy shoes. Because clowns wear fat floppy shoes. Working it round to make it nice and neat, although this will be inside. Even so. Right. Tie it off with a loop. Tie it off again with another loop. And put it inside. Because I want to put that through the middle. There we go. Pull that through. Tie off this end. Although before that I want to tie together where I changed the wool. Tie them 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Right, so pull that in. But I left a little sort of pinched bit. I didn't pull it all the way tight like I normally would, so that there's a little sort of shaped toe. Tie them together. 1, 2, 3. This is just a different kind of yarning needle, just to work it into there. And up the other side. Tie it off. As I say, I want a little bit of a lip, a bit like a nipple. I'll put that on the needle. As possible. Right, so as I say, I'm making a little bit of a bit that looks a bit like a nipple. Just because that's the way that I finished the other one off. So I go round it. And around it. And round again. inside so that you catch the whole thing together. You don't want to lose the other end that you've folded in. Right, that's enough. You stretch it. Tie it off. And again. Cut that off. Right, I need my fibre fill, which is just here. Just out of reach. So you fill this. I think that's about what I filled it, the other one. Whoops. Need a decent bit of this. So I'm going to seal up the other end, ready to go on to the leg. Just go round like you would when you're cinching in the body. Just keep going in and out every other stitch. Like so. Right, so you cinch that in. Don't pull it too tight. There's too much fibre fill in this one. I didn't put quite so much in that one. Take a fair bit out. That looks better. Yeah, that looks closer to what I did. Tie this off. Work this bit in to the wool, back out. Then we have to sew the leg on. And you turn it upside down. You sew the leg there. There. Near the middle, not quite dead on the middle. I'll make sure I'm actually showing you what I'm doing. You sew it on. Like so. Tighten it in as much as you can. Just making sure it looks about the same place. So initially what you're going to do is you're going to be tying this on, sewing it on even. Right, so that's on. Tie it off with a loop and another loop. Then, because it's floppy, you want to tie it to the body further up, like so. So that it sticks out, but not under. Just keep stitching till you feel it's about right and it's going to stay. That looks like it's going to stay. Wish it would stay in the needle. All the way around as much as you can. It looks a bit fatter than the other one. I don't know why, because they're both the same size. Don't you just love wool? Has a mind of its own. It will look different in a minute once I think it'll look better once I've cinched it in on the black. I feel like I need that just a little bit higher. Tie it off. That's about the best I can do. Okay. Cut that off. And then you take some black, a little bit longer than that one. I want to make sure I can go all the way around and tie it tight-ish. Right, so you take some black, you start cut that down enough. You start going round the black, in and out here. In and out. All the way around. Keeping on the line. I've definitely put more stuff in that than I have in that one. Oh dear. tie it off. Work it in. And then cut it off. That one's definitely tighter than that one. Don't know why. Anyway, that is your finished clown. Obviously, when you do it, don't put so much stuffing in. So that's them. He will sit up. Might fall forward when he sits up, but he should sit up. So she... Right, he does sit up and falls forward. Or back. Maybe it's because I've got one bit that looks fatter than the other. But there we go. There he is. The pesky clown. Put him that way and then you can see him fully. There we go. The only thing I haven't shown you what to do is the flower. And as I've said, it was easy to do. You make the little round bit by knitting 10 rows. Each end you pull together, each end. You then put them together in the middle, and it looks like that hat bit round. And then all you do is you just yarn over and pull in to make the bits that look like petals, and then put a little bit of green in the middle. So I hope you like that one. I'm doing the witch next. I've got green yarn ready to do her, and black sparkly for the body and the cloak. So hopefully she won't be quite so bad. I'll have to work on how I go about doing the nose. But that's, I don't know what to call him. I can't call him Art because that's a clown that's already known. Don't know. Creepy the Clown. Creepy the Clown. That's what it's going to be. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want me to do any other projects. And look out for my other Halloween display models. And I shall see you on the next one. Bye-bye.